Well, I have a special guest today, Troy Funk here, area agent, 40-year veteran, Sarasota realtor. We're going to talk end of market stats, February 2023. Stay tuned. All right, so first of all, you have been doing this a really long time.
I'm an old man.
40 years. You got double on me.
Double on you? Wow. I wouldn't brag about that.
All right. And by the way, it's pretty windy here today.
It is windy. Hopefully our sound quality is good here today.
Yes.
We have some good information to share here.
Yeah, we're excited to share. You have a large presence online. You've got a great YouTube channel. Tell the folks the channel.
The name of my channel, you can find my name, Troy, T-R-O-Y, Funk, F-U-N-K, Funk K, and you can find me on YouTube.
A funk and a twit. What do you know? So, all right, because this is what everyone wants to know. Are we crashing?
Oh, everybody wants it to crash. Do you agree with that?
Why though?
Well, why do people want this market to crash? Because, bring back the affordable housing. It's gone. There is no more affordable housing. It's hard to find affordable housing in Florida. Those people want to hear that this market is going to crash. Would you agree?
I think some are really waiting for that. I've heard so many people online is talking to friends and clients of ours asking if it's going to go to 50% or, those are the numbers that people are asking about. Do you see that happening?
No, not at all.
Why?
Well, you brought up a good point. You're going to California shortly, and I was born in California. We didn't crash in California. Things just slowed down, took their time. A lot of people think that affordability is an issue of crashing the market. No. Is affordability an issue in California?
Very much so.
I mean, who can afford a house in California?
Not me.
Yeah, that's it. We haven't seen California crash other than when we had this finance bubble issue, and that's not really been the case. This situation right now is a market correction. We're definitely seeing the market correct.
Yes, and quite frankly, we needed it.
Definitely needed the market to correct.
Yeah, these multiple offers. The issue is the buyers are losing out, right? And so it's like, God bless America. The inventories come up. What did you read on the stats sheet there for the inventory?
Well, I saw that inventory is up almost 300% at this point.
366.
300.
Right?
The inventory is up 366. That is good news. We need the inventory.
Wait, you said that's good news how?
Well, we need the inventory. We need inventory to come up. We didn't have inventory. We had very little inventory, and now we're seeing inventory come into the marketplace. Good news for buyers. Because this thing that really surprised me was this term. I've been in the business for 40 years. Up until the last year, I've never heard this term, appraisal gap. What a strange thing that was, right?
We've been down the path of crazy, right?
Crazy,
Since
crazy.
2020, basically since the pandemic. And appraisal gaps, waiving inspections, that's not to a buyer's benefit. So at 366% increase, that's a level of 2.8 months of inventory. So don't let that 300% number scare you if you're a seller.
Right.
Because at 2.8 months, what does that mean for you?
Well, that feels more like a normal market, actually. It says that your house may take 3 months to sell.
Right.
That's not bad, right? Before it would say it's going to take 2 minutes to sell.
It's quite literally.
We already have offers coming in. Let's as soon as you put that home on the market. So for a home to stay on the market 3 months, that's not a bad market. That's a very healthy market. So we've come into a very balanced market right now for being into an intense market. And the analogy I have on it is, we were driving down the interstate at 200 miles an hour, and we got pulled over.
Yeah.
And we have to go back to 75 miles an hour.
This is so true.
So we're back to that space. We're back to a pace that's normal, where the supply is 3 months, inventories come up, people are waiting for the market to get worse and worse and worse. The thing I knew growing up in California, property values just kept going up. It's had market corrections, but the issue is, affordability is not an issue on whether the market goes up. The issue on whether the market goes up or down is always supply and demand, right? Supply is increasing, that's good. If supply becomes tenfold that, we come into 30 months of inventory, we're going to start seeing the market crash.
So a lot of the podcasts and the influencers and just people that are really hyper-focused and very hyper-aware of real estate, not only in Florida but across the country, don't really see, for the most part, a crash. Of course, there's always like the doomsdayers Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah,
He's a doomsayer.
He is. He makes a lot of money on YouTube too.
You know, and Grant Cardone is another one. He tells people not to buy property. I know I'm going off on a little tangent here, but
do you think there's any self-serving interest?
you literally read my mind, because meanwhile he buys these multi-million-dollar properties, right, and takes money for syndicating properties and is making money for him and his investors while making it harder for a first-time buyer to purchase, because you're just pumping up the values, making it harder for the little guy to buy property. I mean, I consider myself a little guy. We're just like, you know, we're still realtors here.
Right.
And we're trying to make a living and sell to all kinds of different people. So that's, I'm glad you didn't say that.
No. Yeah, no. You have to look at the motivation behind the information. Why are people telling you what they're telling you? What is in it for them? And ideally, you have to be honest. Let's just do it. Be honest here. Is that it's all about supply and demand. We are in a beautiful place right now, and
look at this.
well, you know, I can't believe it, but you know, there's places right now where it's actually snowing.
Oh, okay. Right now, as we sit here end of February, there is a huge blizzard back in Wisconsin, and I'm talking to my dad, and he's like, we gotta plow the snow, and it's like stuff shut down. Well, we are not shut down here.
No,
Look at this.
we're not, and people are still coming to Florida, but they're coming with a little more of a hesitancy here because they're thinking if they wait, it's going to get less. That could be a critical mistake.
Yes.
Absolutely a critical mistake. And I know a lot of people realize that they should have bought. They should have bought when they should have bought, but now they can't because the price is going up. So the prices need to come down. What if the prices don't come down?
I think, hang on, let me get this crystal ball. Yeah, I got it now. I got it.
Okay, good. What is the crystal ball?
All right. I think that things will settle down, and I think there is going to be pockets of inventory in certain neighborhoods, in certain seller situations where they really need to get out, like health situations. There's all kinds of different scenarios where that might become an issue. Matter of fact, we just put one under contract on Longboat, kind of similar situation. They're really, really motivated. I think my clients are walking to at least 50,000 equity for them, which is an amazing feeling.
Fantastic.
And that's a good case by case, example. It's not always the foreclosure or the short sale, and that's, I think, a big misconception.
Right.
And you've seen that. You've seen many markets.
Yeah, I've seen it go up and down, but I just did a video where I talked about a good friend of mine. I know you both know him. His name is Mark, and he owns 300 plus homes here in Sarasota. And what's interesting is he talked about a story where he bought a home, or he bought an investment. It went down $500,000. I mean, literally after he bought it, the value went down $500,000. And he says it's one of the best investments he ever made because even though the value went down, the tenant kept making the mortgage payment for him. They paid off the mortgage. He owns that asset free and clear. That's income the rest of his life. Does he care that the value went down?
No, he's not selling.
He's not selling, and that's just it. If you look at this little short-sightedness of like, oh, the market's going to do this major correction.
It doesn't matter if you're not selling the property.
Yeah, if you're buying an investment, it's a long-term investment.
Right.
You're making a good decision because what's the alternative? Rent? Are rents a good value right now?
You're never going to get the rental. You're never going to get your rent back. Okay, when you own a property, I can speak to my own personal example. I bought last year. I was able to secure a 5-1 arm at 5.129%, I think, give or take.
Excellent.
And they're paying. So my mortgage is about $2,500 plus the maintenance. It's a single-family home, not in a flood zone. 2,500. So the maintenance is about $500 per pool, and I'm renting that seasonally right now at between $7,000 and $8,000 a month. So that way pays for the property, especially during the season. And I mean, even if it was breaking even, that renter is still paying the mortgage.
He's paying your mortgage off.
Yeah, and then
Your mortgage is going to go away with it.
yes,
Yeah, and you're going to still own the house.
yes.
So in the big picture, does it matter in the interim how the market goes up and down, up and down? I mean, historically, we can always see the market goes up.
Right.
It has these little dips. It had to dip. I mean, it went to intense. We had to slow it down. 200 miles an hour down the interstate. Eventually, the police are going to
Something's
pull you.
going to crash.
They're going to say, look, bring it back down to normal. 3 months supply is not a bad market. In fact, it could be 8-month supply. That would feel maybe even a little more normal, but 3 months is not bad. That feels like a very normal market.
I agree. And are you seeing? So speaking to that, are you seeing some of the showings down a little bit too? Because like with the interest rates, and of course you can't get away from talking about these interest rates because it's something that we always have to address, even though we see a very good majority of, I don't know, 60% cash here.
Right, yeah, it seems like it's all cash.
It is.
Most of it is, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and so there's always that conversation of, so anyway, to the point being that showings I feel are down. Are you seeing that, like for our sellers out here?
No, I'm not. I mean, not for what I have. I mean, I have 5 closings this week, and but they're pre-foreclosure properties. And yeah, they're all.
Let's wait. Okay. Okay.
Well, but
first of all, define pre-foreclosure.
Well, here's the situation, and it's really crazy this time because these are sellers that haven't made a mortgage payment sometimes in 2 years, and now they're being served. You're going to lose the house if you don't sell it. But here's the cool thing that we didn't have last time: they all have equity. The house has gone up so much that they all have equity. So it's a matter of, do you want your equity out or do you want zero? So it's a different market.
Let's touch on what you just said, because in the Great Recession we had short sales. So
right.
This is different than a short sale.
Yeah, this is sellers can sell and they're still walking out. They haven't made their mortgage payment in 2 years. They're still selling, and in some cases making $100,000 in the closing payment.
So really not the definition of short sale. Short sale being they're selling it for less than what they owe on the property. So
right.
This is
not a short sale. This is just the bank. The house is in foreclosure. The bank is going to foreclose.
Okay. What are, without saying locations and names, what are the situations you're seeing with these folks? Like what happened in maybe one example of why it went to pre-foreclosure?
Well, most all of it's COVID related.
Okay.
They secured financing and COVID messed them up. They lost income. They couldn't sustain their income, so they couldn't make the payment. So I would say in most cases it's COVID related. But here's the good thing: I've actually seen cases where people purchased the property as a vet, no money down, lived there for a year, 2 years, never made a mortgage payment, and now they're going to sell and get money on the closing payment. That's not a bad situation. I mean, the guy could have rented and he would have been evicted, right? He's had a free home for a couple of years.
This is not advice. Okay.
Not advice. Just saying that was past tense. But what's happening is this idea that there's going to be an influx of foreclosures. They're not hitting the market because sellers can sell these properties before the bank takes them over. And if the bank does take these properties over, a lot of these bad notes are going to be owned by hedge funds.
Right.
And what I'm seeing this time is that hedge funds are not necessarily selling their asset. Once they foreclose, they acquire it and they use it as a rental. So we're not going to see an influx of foreclosures in the market like we did last time. That's what crashed the market. The supply went way up because of foreclosures. We're not seeing that. We definitely are going to see an increase.
So much equity here.
A lot of equity. We're going to see a lot of. We are going to see inventory go up like we have. It's not distressed inventory. If a guy's going to make $100,000 on the closing table, he's got a little bit of time to sell that property.
Now, out of curiosity, are these properties that were in the MLS?
Yes.
Okay, so they will be in the stats coming out. So
well, I'm all over Florida. I'm all over the board. Okay. And you said don't reveal, but I will. I have my closings this week. Gainesville.
Oh, you're all over.
Valrico,
okay.
Tallahassee, Palm Bay, and Orlando.
Yeah, because he's got a brokerage and you've got agents around.
I do, and I have connections all over the state of Florida. Okay. And I work with attorneys through that handle foreclosures, but that's how I get them. I just know some people.
Yeah, I know some people. Okay, all right.
I know a few people.
Well, wow, that's okay. I'm really glad you brought that up because I've been watching the short sale foreclosure rate. I think it's at like less than 1%.
I don't think it's going to go up that much because people that have to sell will sell, but they're not buyers. People that have to sell. Don't get me wrong. These are all homes that are priced for low value, but the sellers aren't giving them away. And what really gets me is it's money. So every time there's a foreclosure, immediately I get like 10 offers, and they all start out like this. Dear Troy, I'm a real estate investor that buys between 5 and 10 homes a month, and I want to offer 75%. I don't know. I have a feeling they're all taking the same course. So that's not going to happen.
These investors.
But they're all coming from the same place. Like they're going to steal real estate.
I always hated that word. Have you hated like
Steal? Yeah.
I mean, if I'm the buyer, it might be different. I want to steal. No,
Well, we all want a good value, right? We want to get a good opportunity.
Do you think, how far beyond the 2.8 months of inventory do you think we'll go?
I don't know. If I did that, would be in Vegas right
You
now.
would be back in the house, right?
I wouldn't be here. I'd be in Vegas with a slot machine.
I mean, do you think it'll go up to 6%? With the trajectory that we have,
Right.
the statistics that we have, the knowledge between, we've got, what, 60 years of knowledge, years between us?
Yeah, a lot.
Years
Right.
way more. Like, do you think it'll get to 6 months?
Well, here's the thing: is it doesn't matter, because let's just say that it doubles up. It's not going to matter. The whole point is, if you're a buyer, you have two choices: you're going to rent or you're going to buy.
Yeah.
Right? And if you buy, you make an investment. If you're making an investment, think about that long-term investment. And not that your real estate's going to go down to $500,000 like our friend Mark's did, but it did, and he didn't care because you know at the end of the day he owned a free and clear asset that's given him cash the rest of his life. So the cycle of it going up and down was not an issue. The main thing is to be a buyer. You know, you have a choice. You can buy or you can rent. Those are your two choices.
Right.
Rental, I think, is absolutely terrible right now.
Oh, that's
I can't
awful.
believe.
Unless the only time you want to rent is if it's less than when to purchase and pay. That could be a good reason to rent while you save up for down payment. Either way, you're still throwing money out.
You're
every
throwing
month.
money away, and the thing is, you're gambling. I had a good friend tell me, you know the best time to buy real estate is?
Tell me.
When you can afford it.
Well, listen, I've been house poor before, and
Right.
it's the absolute worst feeling on the planet. It's suffocating. I would not recommend it. Okay?
Yeah.
But you know, I think 2023 will be a good year. You say?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think every year is a good year. I mean,
Yeah.
again, it's a matter of buying assets and holding on to
Assets, and I'm digging the cash flow concept.
cash flow, and here we are in paradise. People are going to always want to live here, right? This is a destination location. The point of entry is going to get smaller, though. And I think that's what we saw in California. Is that I remember when my parents sold their home in Santa Barbara for $150,000. My parents said, there's no way we could ever buy our house back. We couldn't start back.
Yeah.
And it took 2 doctors to buy our house at that point.
I heard this on one of your videos that you posted or talked about. Santa Barbara's beautiful too. Wow.
Well, that house is worth $1.5 million right now. And so is affordability an issue whether the house will sell or not? No, it's all about supply and demand. A lot of people want to live in Santa Barbara. A lot of people want to live in Sarasota, Florida. I think the challenge is the point of entry is going to get smaller and smaller to a point where people feel like they got shut out. Well, maybe they did, but unfortunately, as time moves on, I think more people are going to feel like they're shut out of this marketplace.
I think this is the window of time this year where opportunity, or people are going to come in and they will make their millions, let's say, during this time, because they're taking advantage of opportunity. What does Warren Buffett says, when people are fearful, be greedy, and when others are greedy, be fearful.
Right.
I think that, the man would know. He's worth
whatever
he's worth. It starts with
some
a B.
insight there.
But, and then also to quote Ricky Caruth, we just did an interview with him. He's phenomenal. He's got a lot of words of wisdom. And he says, and this is for you agents listening, closings happen every day no matter what.
Right.
So whatever's happening in the world, you just control the controllables. Whether you're a buyer, you're a seller, or you're a realtor, you still have to get up, you still have to do the things that produce. And if you still have to live in a home, you have to have a roof. And I do think this year is going to be an incredible opportunity to buy. If you're on the fence, I think this is going to be an incredible opportunity to buy.
I think the warning shot is that, there's only going to be so much opportunity here. And the idea of second guessing this, what if you're wrong? Because there's a lot of people that got shut out of this marketplace. I fear that number is going to continue to increase to where it's going to be a Santa Barbara, where it's going to take $1.5 million to buy your 1,500 square foot home, and people are going to look back and think,
It's starting.
Affordability though, I can't afford it. Well, somebody else can, and that's why the market is
So harsh.
Well,
That's the reality.
It is a reality though, because everyone wants to live in the nicest area, but they want that nice
Well, and like we are sitting really pretty when we keep comparing to California. It is what it is. But like, look at the state tax and their tax rate for selling the mansion tax. I think they passed that. You know that. Right? What do you think?
It was a great place to grow up. I can't wait to go back there to visit. But I think it was a warning shot of what it could look like in 10 years. Which is, if you think affordability is bad now, it could get worse.
So I think the takeaways would be for the end of market, February 2023 stats would be, I think it's even more important to have a localized agent to help you make decisions. It might not be the time to buy, but I think starting the conversation, whether you're an investor or you need it for your primary home or a snowbird, second home, having somebody who puts on the ground like you or myself to advise you and someone that's got the knowledge and the years of experience. The agents that entered the market in the last 2 years.
Right.
I know you and I can talk. God bless. We all
there
started
are more
somewhere.
real estate agents at home in the market.
I saw last 2020 said I think 195.
How's that working?
195,000 agents in the state.
Yeah.
Is that about right? I think.
There's 8,000 in Sarasota, so I don't know.
It's way too many. Yeah, and you can't think about that.
No.
And there's enough for everybody. It's always been the case.
Well,
and if you work hard for your clients and you do the right thing for your clients every single time, no matter what. That was hard, I will say, during the recession. I was struggling.
Yeah.
And it was tough.
It was hard. Yeah.
Learned a lot.
But look at who survived that. I think that's the thing.
Survived.
We survived, and then, and that's what you have to look at. Who
Yep.
can survive the
Yep.
storm, and that was a major storm. And this looks like a storm, but I don't think it's a storm. I just think it's an adjustment.
Unlike the storms back north, right?
Yeah. I don't want to live up there and say, I'm waiting for the market to crash in Florida. That's not a place I want to be.
Listen,
right
we
now.
could be wrong. Like, the worlds could collide. We could be wrong. I don't.
There's so many things. There's balloons out there now.
But
for
the
God's sake.
the trajectories are not going toward that direction. Listen, like I said in one of my last videos, I will be the first to say if we're starting to see something else curve up or down, whatever. And we've got our pulse on what's happening. So thank you for taking all this time.
Well, thank you.
us.
This was fun. I hope we added some value. And if we added some value, make sure you hit that like button, right?
Subscribe.
And hit the subscribe button and hit that little bell so you can see all the other videos coming forward here.
And the name of your channel again?
Well, it's my name. You can find me, but the name of my channel is Florida Real Estate Insight. Florida Real Estate Insight. I'm Troy Funk, broker at Realty One Group here in Sarasota, Florida.
A funk and a twit.
Funk
What
and
do
a
you
twit.
know? So I hope you got value out of that. If you guys have any local questions about the market, click the link below, shaylatwit.com.